Here's my Baylor football prediction video, and I'm going to go over the schedule first. September 2nd, Texas State. September 9th, Utah. September 16th, Long Island University and FCS. So one group of five, one Power 5, and one FCS for the non-conference. September 23rd, Texas. September 30th, UCF on the road. October 7th, Texas Tech. October 14th is a bye week, so 6 games in, 6 games out. October 21st, Cincinnati on the road. October 28th, Iowa State. November 4th, Houston. November 11th, Kansas State on the road. November 18th, TCU on the road. And November 25th, West Virginia. I would have wished they would not have back-to-back games before the end of the season on the road, but as you can tell, there's 8 home games, and they don't play Oklahoma. They don't play Oklahoma State. They don't play Kansas. They don't play BYU. So now I'm going to go over wins and losses. It's more like the record, what's going to happen at the very end. First of all, the first game is against Texas State on September 2nd. That should be a win. Okay, September 9th, Utah. I'm going to half that with the Texas game. I'll explain why later. September 16th, Long Island University. That should be an easy win. September 23rd, Texas. Half with the Utah game. September 30th, UCF on the road. That game gives me pause a little bit because, first of all, it's the first road game, and travel could be an issue going down south. It's kind of like those time zone affects your body. It's kind of like what happened against BYU last year. But I think Baylor wins this game, but this is definitely a hangover game potentially. Either coming off of a win or a loss. You got to be careful with this one, and they have John Rice Plumlee back. So October 7th against Texas Tech. Yeah, I expect Texas Tech to be good this year, but after last year we beat them down pretty good. I expect this game to be closer, but I still think Baylor wins that game. I still do. It's hard to make up 28 points in 1 year, especially when you beat them on the road and you get to host them at home. October 21st, Cincinnati on the road. I don't have high expectations for Cincinnati, to be honest. I'm calling that a win. Iowa State on October 28th. That should be a win. I know last year was a little bit dicey at the very end, but we had a 17-point lead, and then Iowa State kind of made a little late comeback rally, but they still won the game. So, but Baylor still won the game, though. That's all that matters. November 4th against Houston. That should be a win. I don't have high expectations for Houston either. Just like Cincinnati, I don't. November 11th, Kansas State on the road. I'm calling that a definite loss. It's hard to make up that many points in 1 year, 31-3 from last year, and I expect that game to be closer. But do I think it's enough to win though? Right now, I'm saying that's hard to make up that many points, and it's on the road, not at home. Now, TCU on the road on November 18th. I know Baylor's had struggles against TCU, but Baylor is due for a win against TCU. First of all, they're losing 79% of the production offensively in terms of touchdowns. And 2, they're losing so many guys, not just on offense, but on defense. So we're going to know who they really are by then. And the revenge factor will be key. They got lucky with the walk-off field goal. Another 2 seconds, forget them going to college football playoff with 2 losses. I mean, somebody else would have been in. And even the year before, I mean, on the road too. And then West Virginia at home to finish on the season. That should be a win. I don't have high expectations for West Virginia either. So I'm calling the Texas and Utah game a house because that's such a coin flip game. I think Baylor wins one of those, but not both. That's not probable. So 10-2, but I would not be shocked if Baylor wins. I mean, it doesn't win either to be 9-3. But even if Baylor wins those two games, I think then they lose to UCF on the road. Somehow. Yeah, I just don't see 11-1 with this team. I know they got some additions in the transfer portal, like 13 new guys. The quarterback play kind of has to be a key here. And I know they have not named a starting quarterback just yet. Regardless who it is, they're going to have to step up. It doesn't matter who. Between Sawyer Robertson and Blake Shapen. But I would say Blake Shapen, if he's a starter, he's on a short leash. To be honest. Because he did not look like what he did prior. And I also don't know about the Utah game if Cam Rising is even going to play. Supposedly he's on the recovery. Like, he's had a schedule right now, but it's one thing to practice, it's another thing to play. It takes time after a torn ACL to be yourself again. I also just don't know what to think about Texas. We have seen Texas teams in the past underachieve with all that talent. How many Big 12 titles since 2009? 0. That's the right answer. And their over-under is 9.5 wins, but look, they have a harder schedule, both non-conference and conference this year than last year. And I also don't know what to think about Texas Tech either. I could see them being a Big 12 title contender to be second, but I also could see them being lower. So that's just an overview of the schedule. So at worst, now I'm going to go to the worst case scenario here. I really just hope for at least 7 wins. Just to have one game more improvement than last year. And I would dare to say before that bye week, 4-2 is feasible before the bye. Because, first of all, you get 5 home games out of 6 to begin the season. So, that's ideal. And you have 8 home games. Only 4 road games, and 2 of those are newcomers. And they're going to be an adjustment period in the Big 12 here. Because it's a whole different level than it was. And I know UCF is losing 10 starters, but they have a quarterback back. Cincinnati's doing with the new head coach, and they got pretty much a quarterback they don't want. And from Florida, that I'm in Arizona State for too. So yeah, and I just don't see. And maybe Neil Brown by November 25th might have been fired. For all we know, he could be. So, anyways, if you like this content, hit like and subscribe button. See you guys later. 500 subscribers, we're on the road to it. Let's go.